Morning. Let, let's talk about points. Points that are issued from the three credit bureaus. And let's talk about how to get those points. A lot of people have the notion that their scores is going to go up, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. But let's talk about how these points are calculated. And that's where the main problem is that most individuals lack is credit education. Um, First thing, your hard inquiries come with between 5 to 50 points for each one removed. The, the key is not to have too many of them because this is a scale that banks go by. If you have more than 5, they want to stay away from you. They want to stay away from you because they feel as though you're high risk. So you want to at least have the minimum of 5 hard inquiries a year. My thing is, I tell most of my members that never apply for nothing. Let the banks chase you. You know, because while you're doing the chasing, you destroy your credit. So now let's talk about collections. Collections. You don't want low collections. So that's the number one key. Even if it's medical, even if it's basic collections, retail, whatever. You want to get those off. Now, a lot of people are calling me up and saying, hey, Lorenzo, this company won't take my stuff off. Let me tell you something. They want their books clean. So, trust me, they'll take it off. They'll play hardball. But at the end, they will take it off. Now, there's two things you want to know. When you call these people up, you tell them, I'm not paying nothing unless it's being taken off. By you saying that, guess what? That means your item is going to be on their books. And what they don't understand is, once it's disputed, it's going to come off anyway. You know? Sometimes it takes a couple disputes, sometimes it takes one. But eventually, it's going to come off. And so, really, they lose in the end. So that's one thing. Another thing is, once you've negotiated everything, you tell them, listen, I want a settlement. If it's an old bill, ask for a settlement. That means ask for a 70% settlement. They're going to come back at you. They're going to say, hey, well, we can give you 50% off. 50% is what you really want. Always start at the highest level because then you get exactly what you want. Now, so that sums it up for collections. Then you have closed accounts. Now, let me tell you about these closed accounts. These closed accounts could be horrible. These closed accounts could cause a lot of trouble for you in the end. Closed accounts, what happens is that most closed accounts are, I would say, there's either errors or they're too old. So one way or another, they can be removed. It might take a while, but they can be removed. Now, if you have closed accounts, the best thing that you can do for yourself is ask for a settlement for these closed accounts, or most closed accounts you can file a 609 and a goodwill letter, and companies will remove it. Listen, I had a closed account a while back, and I wrote a goodwill letter and a 609, and I had it certified, and they removed it with no problem. It's not the amount, it's not how long it's been on there, it's the way you address it. Most companies will be, listen, you got to understand something. Most companies are willing to move this stuff off because they need their sheets spotless. But when you're somebody that's just trying to get over, instead of and you're not somebody that's really, really wants to clean your credit up, you know, they will not work with you. And that's just it. They will not work with you. It's about the way you ask for something. Listen, I was in the Department of Motor Vehicles one day, and I'm behind this lady, and this lady's asking for some kind of form, and she was very rude and disrespectful. Now I needed the same form, so the lady wouldn't give it to her. So it was my turn. I go up to the window and I ask. They said, "Sure, Mr. Kirby." So, I'm smiling. I'm like, wow, And it's because it's the way you talk to people. It's the way you address people. It's just like with credit. If you send a goodwill letter saying, hey, I'm trying to start over, I messed up, but I realize now I really do need credit. It's the way you word things. And it's the way you speak to people. You get more results. And this is a part of life. This is not new. It's not new at all. This is a part of our culture and our life. When you give respect, you get respect. And that's what it's about. So then let's go to a lot of people think that credit repair is just disputing. It's more than disputing. On your end, you got to make sure you get a secure card. But just don't go out there and get any secure card. Whoever is doing your credit, talk to them. Talk to them. Say, hey, what's the best card that you think that I can capitalize on my points? Each card gives a certain amount of points. Capital One gives 25. 25 points. 25 points is nothing. What are you going to do with 25 points? It's nothing. We tell members use Open Sky. Open Sky gives from 70 to 100 points based on what's on your credit report. That's the best one out there yet. And then you want to ask the person that's doing your credit, could you show me a secure card method to triple my points? Now, if somebody's doing your credit and they're not a specialist, they're not going to know what you're talking about. They're going to look at you like, they're going to say, what? What are you talking about? A specialist will know what exactly you're talking about. Now, another thing too, that method triples your points. So that's a must in your plan to build your score. Another thing, also use the Experian Boost. It's free. You get from 13 to 46 points a month. So you want to capitalize on that. Also, this is very important. Keep your credit cards at 30%. And also, listen, I know people like to shop. I know things come up. No matter what comes up, do not use your credit card. Your credit card is for tiny purchases. Under 30%. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Because the more you use your credit card, the more you're damaging your credit. Use 100% cash. That's why I tell my members, use 100% cash. But some listen, some don't. But you'll see the results every week. Well, at least I would say every 1 to 2 weeks, because you're going to see that you're getting points. You're going to see you're getting points. And you get points because you're using your card the right way. Now, our credit repair package is $199. We have payment plans. So if you don't have the whole fee, we can work with you. Call me 610-470-8992. Also, we have different plans. You can visit our website, which is www.kirby'screditkingdom.yolasite.com. For those of you that don't have too much money and you have bills, you got this, you got that, we have Credit Repair Classic, which is only $80, and that's great, you know. So there's help out there for everybody. You know, don't be one of the ones that sit back and watch. You know, get your credit right, because if one thing you don't realize is eventually the government is going to make it so everything is credit. And once they do that, people are going to be running to get their credit fixed. Listen, the time is coming. Mark my word, it's coming. And you don't want to be one of the ones that they say, oh, I got to hurry up and get my credit fixed. Already have it done. So even if it's off a little bit, you say, okay, well, all I got to do is this, this, and this, and this. And I'm at 700, 750. You know, so it's better to have good and fair credit than to have bad credit. And, you know, and two, you want good credit, because God forbid, let's say, you know, your partner has to have an operation, or you need a nice loan to fix your house up, or you and your wife is planning a vacation. You know, you're gonna want that credit, because guess what? You want to say, okay, I can go to the bank and take a $10,000 loan out, or $20,000 loan out, and I'll be fine. Or I have a project I want to do, or I want to get a business loan, or I want to expand my business, or I need equipment for my business. There's so many different things that you might need, or my kids might need this. My kid needs that. My kid is going to college. He needs this. There's so many different things. So when you look at the whole scenario, it's better to have good credit, work on your credit. You know, it's like I said, we also educate you. We also show you different ways so your score just keeps on rising. I got a young lady now, wrote me last night, said, hey, I'm approaching 750. And guess what? It took her 90 business days. The reason why, she listened. She listened and she followed instructions. And, you know, I applaud her for that, because it's been a tough road for her. You know, when you listen, you follow my instructions, you get to where you're going. When you don't listen, you get stuck in you say, oh, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. You get stuck. A lot of my clients don't listen. And they make it harder for themselves. You know, sometimes you got to spend a little extra. Sometimes you got to do this. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to stay on point. You know, text me every now and then. Hey, Mr. Kirby, what's the next step? Hey, Mr. Kirby, what's this? What's that? What's that? You know, because everybody's credit is different. Just because you see somebody else at 750 and you're lower, sometimes it's not what you're doing wrong. It's what you're not doing at all. You know? Credit is like a game. You know? You got the basketball, you need a couple more hoops. You know, you need a couple more shots, and you're at 700. You got to get those shots. You know, it's not hard. To build your credit, I would say, is you have to work as a team. If you know you get your credit repaired, you should be out there applying for loans. You should be out there applying for cars, knowing I'm working on your credit. Because guess what? That's just dropping your score. I tell everybody, do not apply for anything. But what do people do? They go out there and start applying for stuff. So one lady said, "Oh, I had to have the car." No, you ain't have to have nothing. If you pay me to do a job, it's my job to make sure it's done right. It's my job to make sure to prevent your score from dropping. You know, people are gonna want to do what they want to do. You know, but if you want to see success, if you want to see a better credit score, you have to follow instructions. Plain and simple. Like I said, if anyone needs credit repair today, if you're watching this video, you can call me, text me, 610-470-8992. We can get your credit all right today. We can start today. And guess what? You'll see points today. And we'll talk about that, how that happens. Like I said, subscribe, like the video, and call me. I'm available all day. Thank you and have a great day.